What horrifying thing were you forced to keep in your room until marriage? My parents believe that keeping every dirty diaper from birth until marriage wards off undesirable people who only want you for shallow reasons. They decided this after watching some documentary about arranged marriages having lower divorce rates. According to them, removing physical comfort from the equation would guarantee true love because only someone who truly loved your soul could tolerate the smell. When I was born, my dad built special shelves in my childhood bedroom for cardboard boxes that would hold every single diaper I ever wore. 23 years later, 43 boxes still line my bedroom wall at my parents' house, like a shrine to human waste. The bottom boxes have collapsed and leaked brown stains into the carpet that look like rust-colored maps of countries that shouldn't exist. My older sister lived with her 41 boxes in the room next door for 28 years until her wedding day, when my parents burned them all in the backyard while the neighbors called the fire department. My first girlfriend lasted exactly 12 seconds in my room before she ran to the bathroom down the hall and threw up for 20 minutes straight while my mother asked if she had food poisoning. My second girlfriend tried breathing through her mouth and drowning everything in Febreze, but after 3 visits, she developed respiratory infections her doctor blamed on toxic mold exposure. My third girlfriend couldn't smell anything due to chronic sinus problems, and I thought I'd won the lottery until she got surgery that fixed everything. She walked into my room and immediately fell to her knees sobbing and asked if something had died inside the walls while my parents watched from the doorway looking proud. Each relationship ended the same way with disgust and horror and blocked phone numbers. I tried everything to manage the stench without betraying my parents and their insane rule. 12 air purifiers running constantly in my room made the house's electricity bill triple, so my parents smashed them in the backyard. UV sanitizing lights just made the boxes glow like radioactive waste in the dark. When I wrapped each box in plastic, the greenhouse effect accelerated decomposition until 3 boxes exploded and covered my ceiling in what looked like coffee grounds, but definitely wasn't coffee. The smell had saturated everything I owned and seeped into my pores until I was basically a walking biohazard who kept emergency clothes in my car and showered at the gym 3 times before any dates. Meeting Sophia at that coffee shop felt like destiny, and I'd prepared for it with new clothes and industrial degreaser soap. She laughed at my terrible jokes and didn't question why we only went to her apartment or met in public places for 4 perfect months until she started getting suspicious about why she'd never seen where I lived. When she asked about meeting my parents for the 15th time, I saw the doubt creeping into her eyes and knew my excuses were running out. That night, I waited until my parents were asleep and loaded every single box into a rented truck while my hands shook and tears ran down my face. At 3 in the morning, I threw 43 boxes of my first 3 years of life into an industrial dumpster behind an abandoned warehouse. Each box that landed made a wet thud that sounded like punctuation marks at the end of a very long sentence. Driving home, I had to pull over twice to vomit from the concentrated smell trapped in the truck. I spent the rest of the night attacking my room with bleach and enzyme cleaners I'd hidden in the garage while burning candles I'd bought with cash so my parents wouldn't see the credit card charge. When I snuck Sophia into the house the next evening while my parents were at dinner, she said it smelled like a hospital, and I nearly cried with relief. We were kissing on my bed for the first time when my mother burst through the door because my cousin had seen me at the warehouse. "You threw away 43 boxes and 23 years of protection for this?" my mother screamed while pointing at Sophia, who jumped up from my bed. Sophia's face went through several expressions as she processed what was happening. 43 boxes of what?" she whispered, and my mother smiled the coldest smile I'd ever seen. "His dirty diapers from birth to potty training that he was supposed to keep until marriage. He threw them away last night for you." My mother launched into statistics about divorce rates while Sophia backed toward the door like she was escaping a hostage situation. "You'll never truly get away from the smell," Sophia said before she left. Those were the last words she ever spoke to me. My mother stood in my bleach-soaked room and told me to start the collection over with adult diapers until I found someone who could truly love me. But I chose to leave that night with just the clothes I was wearing because everything else still carried that phantom smell that might have been real or might have been permanent damage to my brain from 23 years of toxic fumes.